If I see something and I want it, like I don't care. Like, I'm getting it.
Yeah, hands down.
Like, it's nothing you can do to keep me away from it. So I think just coming in, you know, you see it, you want it, and it just seems like over time it just fades. Like
that newness. What happens is
that newness.
It fades away, and that competition begins to fade, and so you feel like you conquered. So now it's not interesting anymore. I'm not entertained. I'm not captivated anymore. So I gotta keep chasing that feeling. So I'm on to the next, which brings me to maybe the next topic: why men date without an end goal. And that goes back to our video, right? Big facts today, y'all. It goes back to our video.
It's getting a little hot in here. Is it time for a break?
No, it's
you
not.
come on with it. Let's go then.
We just started. We just warming up. You understand?
I like it, bro.
Yes. Well, come on with it then. I'm a roll you dogs over today. You understand what I'm saying? But no, this is what happened. And we saw in the video illustrated that, you know, she's cooking, she's cleaning. She says, listen, I am his bunny, but I have no Clyde. He defers to her. He trusts her enough with his own body. We only get one. You understand? Right. So now you're going over into different territories. You understand what I'm saying? Unprotected territories, right? Yep. But you trust her enough to do those things with her.
Unprotected territories.
Unprotected territory, baby.
Meat to meat.
Meat to meat.
And this is not brought to you by the FDA.
But you understand what I'm saying? You trust her enough with that, with your body, the only temple you have. But you don't trust her enough to make her your wife? Huh? That's what we're doing. And then what happens is, in my opinion, but I'm just saying, I'm you know, I've always stood back and I observe things a lot, and then I speak on it. But this is why we have a whole the breakdown of the black family, the black culture, the black community, because you have a lot of fatherless children out there. Because what he's doing, he cannot commit to anything. He cannot commit to anything. He enjoys it. It's a benefit to him.
Yeah.
He defers to her. He listens to her. She's there to be his backbone. All right? She's there to be his backbone. But what happens when the backbone ain't got a back brace? You feel me what I'm saying? So yes, we want to be there for you. We've been conditioned as women to do that.
Yeah.
I'm truly nurturing. I know that off GP.
Not all women are like that.
Well, I'm one of them.
Which really is another, like, great job, Quad, to you.
Thanks, big guy.
Anytime.
Yes. But truly, what happens when the backbone doesn't have a back brace? And here's the deal. As I was saying, I don't want to lose my thought. We're definitely there to nurture, to protect, to be catering and loving and being that moral support. But why is it not stated or not activated enough that the men are being our same support system? We're expected to be that for you all. Not so much on the other side.
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to what you said. You briefly touched on it. And when you look at it, for me, it's simple because we don't have, I have a saying.
Okay.
When I do charitable work, you can't be what you can't see. Oftentimes we forget that we have to provide examples, good working examples of what it's supposed to be, what it looks like versus always telling you what you're supposed to do. Now, my question though, and I look at it like this, how can you hold somebody accountable when they don't know? And I'm just saying,
you know,
I remember when I was 20, 21 years old, and even 20, 21, that's when I got drafted. But like, I knew then, like, I thought at 25, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of kids, like, you know, big house and all this and that.
Okay.
And you know what? None of that shit worked. Like, not work, it didn't happen. So
in the time frame that you
in the time frame, it didn't happen in that time frame. But I also say this: it's like you're so young, you don't even know. Like you're gonna change, like your palate changes with flavors.
Does.
Cooking with Miss Quad. Side note.
That's just
like, yeah.
I'm gonna get into that book right there. Why?
So like I'm saying, like when we look at this and it's like, how can you hold somebody accountable when they don't even know themselves? Mm-hmm. So you have to expect. Like, I'll be honest, like, it's hard to say somebody been together for, at 21, 15 years, and they didn't go through anything. Mm. Like, some infidelity is going to happen. Mm. You hope it don't, but that's the reality of it. So it's like, I don't really see how I think women can hold dudes accountable when you don't know what you don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, preach. So because I'm
all
ready.
All of that right there.
I'm locked and loaded over here.
In terms of this accountability.
I got you.
All right. You stayed at a very young age. That's cool.
Yep.
Ups and downs, changes and turnarounds. I get it. It's cool. And that's fine. But let's talk about when you have evolved. And you're not 21 years old anymore. And you're now 32, 38, 42, 45. And you're still doing the same thing over and over and over again. At some point, you say we need to have positive images of that. Listen, there is so much information out in the world. Even if you don't have someone physically, you can go down to the Google. Hit it on the Google. How do you treat a woman?
Man, get the hell out of here, man.
Wait, real talk. You can't Google the shit. Have you ever Googled it? Real talk.
How to treat a woman?
How to treat a woman.
I ain't never Googled that.
You know what?
Have you ever Googled it?
No, I haven't, but I have Googled this. No, this is recently. Okay. 2 weeks ago, me and my nephew was talking. Uh-huh. And I was just talking to him, and I'm like, look, bro, if you feel that way about it, like, this what you need to do. I was like, you don't know what to say? And he was like, no. And I'm like, damn, I'm dropping the ball. So I went online, looked on, I was like, what are some like not cheesy, corny lines for a pickup to ask a girl out on a date? Man, that shit was horrible. It was like, I'm talking about terrible, corny.
Okay.
Definitely not for us. I'm surprised anybody would use that.
Well, listen, you might want to put it in your own words. That is just giving you some form of a kickoff. That's a start. Reference. That's a starter kit. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a starter kit.
Yeah, that's a starter kit. But what I'm saying, I'm just saying at worst, we got to stop saying, oh, there's no images out there of positive black love. There, I didn't have a father. I didn't have a mother to show me how to treat a man. I didn't have a father to show me how a man should treat me. At some point, we have to start taking personal accountability. Yeah. All right, for our actions. All right. Yeah. And I'm just saying, at worst, if you have not a person in the world, Google it and make it your own.
Don't you think that this may be part of the answer to your question in terms of why don't men date women with an end goal? Maybe the end goal for women is marriage. Maybe that's what they want.
Maybe.
For men, and Los has talked about this all the time, the end goal for a man typically is to be as successful as he can be, to afford the lifestyle that he wants to live, to do whatever the fuck he wants. And that's just how Los says it. Now, if that in and of itself is what he believes or what some men believe, maybe marriage isn't that end goal for them. And to Spike's points, there are some positive examples of that. But when we got in the league at 2021, you probably, if there's 53 people on the team and 8 on the practice squad, 48 guys, you might see 2 examples of straight up marriage that's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Or how we've been conditioned.
Or how we're conditioned to think it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not an excuse or a reason to say, okay, this is not for me. I tried it. It didn't work for me. So I'm...
Well, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, you know, and but the flip side is that
undefeated,
you if you're not, as a man, right? If you're not good at being a husband, or that's not for you, that's not your end goal, that does not make you a bad person overall.
No. Listen, there is no bad person in this. What we're saying is just be honest, whatever that looks like.
Whatever it is you
Whatever
into.
that looks like. If you say, listen, I'm feeling you, I want to date you, I want to continue to get to know you or whatnot, but and even if it's down the line I prefer the front end, just, hey, I'm not, when that first conversation after y'all got a little close, listen, I'm really not looking for marriage. That's not something that I believe in. I don't, I didn't see that, or however you want to put it, but just say it and allow that man or that woman to move on.
To move on.
Because here's the deal. If I know that I want to be married, I'm not dating you, man, for 4 years.
So you saying basically if marriage is not the end goal and that's what you want, you're wasting your time doing anything other than that.
I mean, I never lose because I'm always learning. So I never ever lose. I have never taken an L.
So you don't use the term of a lot of women say this, and I'm just asking. I've wasted all of this time.
Well, that's their perception. But there was a lot of jewels. See, I'm always looking for jewels for my crown. You understand?
Damn right.
So for me, even in my marriage, and as I noted before, I'm divorced now. You guys know that. But I learned so much in that. It was some richness in that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's basically your perception. Do you want to be pessimistic, or do you choose to be optimistic about it? I always choose optimistic, to be optimistic about everything.
I look at it the same way. Just from, I don't look at it as wasted time.
No.
I just don't, because I feel like if you walked away and you learned something from it and you embrace it, there's no way that you're going to be still sitting on that same level of playing field as you continue and advance throughout
You've elevated.
life. Like you elevated your game.
You should have.
As long as you're right.
You should have.
You should have, right?
Life lessons. But you got to be there to really have your eye open to receive it. You feel me?
So now what I like to do, I even like dating now for me is I am going to tell you, because a lot of men that don't know that. You made the comment like we lose out by not sharing that information, really both parties, exactly what it is. So like sometimes I feel like women are afraid to ask they are afraid to ask the tough questions.
But why?
And I know it don't feel good, like I get it, but I'm just saying, if you really want to know what a dude, his plans are, ask him. Ask that tough question. Like, why should it be on us to be able to just come out divulging information?
Hold up. See that? See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, like,
see,
it's already hard enough out here for a black man to win.
Here we go.
And then we got to have that accountability on our shoulders. Extra accountability. We don't mind. We have to do it anyway. Please speak your mind on that, because I feel like it kind of touched the nerve.
You're getting some heat off that middle chair right there, brother.
You most certainly I'm going to speak my mind. See, again, you are in that whole setup. You're looking for the woman to come in and, it's her responsibility. Why is it that it's always the woman's responsibility to make sure that everything is okay with you? Why is that? Meaning, as a woman, why do I have to, even if you've been horrible at home, I have to still go out in the world and present you as the best thing ever, the best thing since color TV, the best thing since sliced bread, and you ain't half of it. But as a woman, that responsibility is placed on my shoulders to always make you look good. Why? Why is that?
I think you got to keep it honest with yourself and your situation. Like, it's not if you having issues at home to where you feel that your significant other isn't doing what he's supposed to do and is fraudulent, you ain't got to blast that on a public forum. I mean, that's reality. You can say, you know what, I sit this one out. You go to this gala by yourself. I've done it.
Yeah.
You know, we having issues right now, so this ain't the one for you.
But here's the deal. You're absolutely right, and I would never do anything like that. Never have done anything like that. But what I'm saying to you is, we're just talking about, why does the responsibility lie in the woman's lap? Oh,
no, I agree with you, not putting all of that responsibility on a woman. I'm just saying the responsibility of the lack of not having a conversation or asking that tough question in the beginning versus walking away saying, nah, I wasted you had me wasting all of this time, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things that I've grown to learn because like sometimes in life, especially like young men, 20s, even unfortunate to say, some people in their 30s.
Yeah.
Like they just don't realize guys walk around sleepwalking because they choose to be that way.
But not, yes, indeed, they choose to be that way. But we do have a challenge with accountability. You understand what I'm saying? With men holding other men accountable. Listen, I analyze everything. First of all, I hate going into barbershops. Let me just say that I can't stand going into a barbershop because it's like I feel like a piece of meat when I go into the barbershop and everybody's looking. And then when I walk, damn, she bad. Damn, you see it?
You ain't supposed to hear that because you're already gone.
But I'm walking out the door and then it starts.
What do you expect?
It starts.
We go in there, getting the cut, and it's like, you know what, man, like I'll be glad when I get this cut. You're pissed off because you're waiting probably. And then two, you like, after I get this cut, there's two things that I hate doing. I hate going to get a haircut.
Okay.
And I hate going to the cleaners. Wholeheartedly.
Damn, what the cleaners did to you? You just go in there.
It's just a waste of damn time.
Get your ticket, man, and pay the bill and get your clothes.
It's just
and
a
get
waste of
out there.
time, man. Just a waste of time.
I'm just saying, going back to this barbershop thing. All right.
That's
and
how we act,
I
man.
have a nephew, so you know what I'm saying?
We get a fresh cut.
hate it.
We see you come through there. We was like, God, man,
Man, you see Shawty, man, she bad as hell. It's like, guys, please stop. Don't do that. It's so unattractive. But let me say this in the realm of accountability. A man, let's just take Tut for a second. Married, beautiful wife, been there for you for years. You've created a life together. You've built things together, right? She's loving, she's supportive, she's there for you. Ride her. Chick come through, y'all, at the barbershop. Another chick come through, she bringing you lunch down to the barbershop. You know, as his homeboy, that ain't his wife. And instead of saying, yo, dog, what you doing, man? You losing it, man. You about to risk everything you've worked for. You have a family, you have a good wife. She takes care of you and your children. You can rely on her and she's smart. You know what you do?
What?
Dog, damn, man, you got a baby, man. Man, you hit me now. Man. It's a whole lot of this. All that. Instead of just saying, hold up, bro. No, you already got something real. Why would you put that in jeopardy?
Hey, you for real though? Like, that's really true.
Why? And this is a question for the both of you. Why is it that men don't hold one another accountable?
We do.
And
We actually, all right, let me, and this
behind
is
the mask, man.
we're going behind
the mask.
We're going behind the mask. And because this is going to be so true, it's not going to be up for debate. At a younger age, all right, it goes back to this. It's a history lesson. And two, I've told this story several times. Feel free to interject when need be. Now, remember when we were growing up, and in order to be the coolest dude in the school that everybody knew, typically that happens in sport or you doing something to be the standout.
So you got to have a lot of girls?
Well, no, we come out like we don't know that. We just think, well, it's good to have a girl. Who makes us think that we need to have a lot of girls after us like that is the women, the girls.
Who?
Think about it. It be some ugly dudes, even though they were ballers. Girls used to, they just like, oh God, he looks so good. And I'd be like, they going crazy over this piece of crap.
Oh my.
So conditionally, like mentally, we like, dang, well, I can't play basketball good as him, can't play football as good as him. So I got to do something to make them like me and make all the girls like me.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't buying it. I ain't even
So
putting that on
no,
layaway.
I'm just saying.
I'm not even
So
putting
we
it
walk
on
away from
layaway.
situations.
I'm not buying it.
Coach, we walk away from situations. Those situations at young ages thinking, well, you ain't really cool unless you got a lot of girls wanting you.
But here's the deal. You want to weigh in or?
I will after you. Go ahead. I'm locked and loaded over here.
You with it?
I'm locked and loaded. Go ahead.
But just know I'm on G waiting on O. I'm sitting on G waiting on O. Just know that.
So y'all have, like, really, you have conditioners, like, and that's how it all starts.
Again,
I'm just saying.
Again, now
when
it's the woman's fault. Again, this is what I'm saying.
No. I think, to your point, you said, why isn't there accountability? A lot of times, I believe, and we keep going back to this young age, but a lot of times I think that men are emotionally immature, meaning they don't know, they don't want to know, or don't want to learn how to know to either deal with women on a level that the woman wants to be dealt with, or how you said, to Google or find out exactly what a woman wants. Now, everybody knows what's right from what's wrong. I mean, that's common sense. Mm-hmm. But when you're in a position of access,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? You have everything afforded to you in abundance. And that's money. That's material stuff. It's privilege. It's it doesn't stop just because it's women. It doesn't stop. And I'm not saying that that's right, but the reality is that's a fact. I can go to Walmart, I can go to freaking anywhere, and honestly, you know me, I call myself the plus size model. I firmly believe a female gonna look at me like, damn, that's a solid looking dude. Mm-hmm. Most men have that. Mm-hmm. Women do too. I call it 100 to 1. We had this conversation all the time.
Okay.
So I used to tell my boys coming up, when we were traveling, playing in the league, they're going everywhere, to the Super Bowls, to the All-Star games and all of this stuff. I'm like, yo, you got to live 100 to 1, because guess what? You coming out here and there are women everywhere. There are opportunities everywhere.
Okay.
So I said, for every 100 times that you go to a bar, you buy a drink, buy a female a drink, mm-hmm. you have a section, you give some, have some women in your section. For 100 times, and this is not even a real ratio, for 100 times that you do something that your significant other wouldn't like, mm-hmm. you have to be comfortable knowing that it's going to be at least one time that she does it too. So there's a flip side to that coin. Because guess what? Every time we on the road, the women is at home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the accountability has to go both ways. So don't get me wrong. I've been in relationships where there was a woman and her friends were like, they weren't always pro too. You know what I'm saying? They might say, nah, this is the other guy. So that accountability kind of goes both ways. And again, it's not right, but that's the reality. I'm not the realist. I'm not the realist with an E, but I am a realist with an I.
And I love it. I love it. And what you're saying in terms of accountability on both sides, I agree with that. Getting back to you though, and I'm gonna touch back on that. But you're talking about, how can I make myself the coolest? Men have a lot of young boys, adolescents, men, whatever, have a lot of pressure on how can I make myself to stand out the coolest or whatever. But what you have to understand is you can set the tone for what's cool. You don't have to follow the trend. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You can take the leadership role and you can say and set the tone in terms of what's cool. We've seen Kobe Bryant do it. Now you see to hear how people spoke of him and how great of a father he was and how great of a husband he was and how great of a man he was and what he gave to his community. He gave so much of himself. Now, with that being stated amongst the masses, I have even seen myself where men are stepping up more, wanting to be more of that for their wives, for their children, for their communities. So you set the tone on what's cool. Is that a yay or a nay?
You do, but listen to what you just said. I'm talking about the problem is systemic. I'm being honest. It starts at a young age. And until you go through enough shit to know, like, you know what, I hurt that person. Some people don't have empathy. And so until you go through something at that young age, I talked about it earlier, age 21. I remember, yeah, I'm going to be married 25. Man, ain't no way in hell I'm going to get married. 30. Maybe one day. Oh, I got one. Nah, I ain't ready for it. Truly, I ain't ready for it because I'm really just, me personally, the reason why I'm not married, in my earlier years when I was played 15 years. So for me, I never wanted to be married while I was playing because I did not want that distraction. Like I just wanted to be all about ball, and I said once I'm done. So now I'm currently 6 years out.
Okay.
And so now actually being in the dating scene, I understand it better and I get it because my mind is not so convoluted with the other things that kind of pushes certain agendas. You feel what I'm saying? So like, I'm just saying it starts off young, but when we're at the age of what you're talking about as an older guy with accountability, yes, I hold my circle accountable. Or this is one of the things that I started doing late in my career. If I see guys who are just reckless, I'm talking about reckless, I would just say, you know what, bro? Have some respect. Just have some respect. What you saying? What you mean? Whatever respect means to you, you take it, keep it in your pocket. I can't tell you what to do.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna just tell you, just have some respect, bro. You flagrant right now.
Yeah.
And so that's what we have to do. I agree with you on that part. I'm just from the younger side, I was just saying, that's the reason why. But as you get older, you see after going through things and hurting people,
Sure.
that ain't the right way.
It's not.